So let us take, this is called the switch statement execute one statement from the multiple conditions. Why? Because our college, our department having the 9 sections. So, okay, 1A, 2A, 2B, 2C. So this is the name. So if the name is checking, so if the matching, then the corresponding program is executed. If not matching, go for the next. So by this way, they can check the multiple switching cases. Okay, suppose if any one condition fails, then there is a last one that is called as a default. So what is the default condition in our college principal or H4? So that's why the first condition is that they can check what is the given variable, then check the value. So if the matching, then directly goes to the particular case, okay, and that program is executed, then they can fit. So if it is not matching the first one, second matching, third matching, fourth matching. That's why continuous matching for each and successive matching until the matching success. If the matching is not possible, then the default is executed. So this is called as a switch condition. So this is the syntax. So switch expression. This is called expression. So case 1, value 1, value 2, value 3. So last one is the default value. Okay. So there are certain rules in the switch statement. Please read that. So actually, the variable, you are not accessing the variable. You can take the values. You can take the values or constant. So this is called as a literal or constant. It is not a variable. Okay. First point. Suppose in your loop, you are not giving the, suppose you are studying the 2-1. So once 2-1 is there, that can be accepted. But don't repeat the same program in another case. In another, so duplicate is not allowed. Duplicate is not allowed in the programming, in the switch case. Okay, all right. So each statement can be a break statement, which is optional. When the control reaches to the break statement, then it jumps to control from that program to outside. So these are all the number 1. You can assign the constant values. There is no duplicate programs or exist. Number 3, a break is there. So breaks, I can explain the next one, break. I can explain the next one is the break. So if the break is there, then that program stops the execution and quits from the program. So this is called as a break. Okay. This is called as a flowchart. This is called as a flowchart. First, it will give the expression. So this is called as expression. So in the expression, you are giving the value. So case 1. If the case 1 is matched, statement 1 execute and break and quit from the program. If the case 1 is not matched, next match. So that's why first step is matching. If match, statement is executed. After that, breaking is there. Okay. Suppose if the match is not possible, go for next match. So this value continues until the last. Suppose if there is a no value, then you can use the default value. You can use default value. Okay. So if the default, then the corresponding statement executed and break. So there is may or may not be possible. So that means you cannot use the break value. Why? Because after that, after the default value execution, then go for the next value. So that means in the default case, you may or may not be use the break. Okay. Right. I can show you one program. So this is called as a switched program. Let us take how to assign. So this is called as our class name. So this is called our class name, and this is called as a main program. So let us take. Okay, I can show you one more program. Yes. Yeah. So this is called as a switch case. Okay. Let us take. There are different conditions are there. So three condition 10, 20, 30. So that means 10, 20, 30. So if you are giving the 20, then first condition check, case 10. So it is failed. Any problem? Any problem? Okay. So let us take this is called as a number. So initial variable. So it is a number. So what is the number value? 20. If the 20 is there, then you can goes to 20 and this can be executed normal way. But what is the internal process? The internal process is that first the number is checking, case 10. Case 10. Suppose case is not matching. So then it is not executed. Then go for the next case. So what is that number? 20. So 20 is matching. So that can be executed and it should be breakout. It should be breakout. Okay. Suppose 30. So if the 20 is not matching, then go for 30. It is executed. Suppose if the 10, 20, 30 is not in, then what is the next thing? Go for default. So that's why it is going to the default. So then you can print this value. So I can show you execute this program. This is called the switch condition. You can apply for any variable as wish, but the condition is the same way. The pattern is the same. So let us take this is called the 20. Suppose I want to give the 10. So I can check. Okay, here one problem is there. Here one problem is there. What is that problem? So then I am not using the break. I'm not using the break. So that means it can print all the values. Okay, suppose I'm giving the 40. Then what happens? It is not in the 10, 20, 30. It is not, okay, 10, 20, 30. Suppose if I'm giving the 0, it will give the 10, 20 or 30. It is not in 10, 20, 30. Okay, right. Suppose let us take, I want to give 20. Okay, can you please find out what is the problem here? What is the problem here? Here you are not using the break. Suppose you want to print out only the case 10. So then you will get the only 10 value. But here what happens, once the 10 is executed, the next and everything should be executed. Everything should be executed. So that's why you can do one thing. That means after execution, then you can use the break value. Okay. All right. Suppose. So that's why there is a problem. So instead of that, see this. So this is another example. In previous, what happens if the first condition true, everything is it. So you are not using the break. That way, what happened? The successive instruction should be executed. So that's the problem. So let us take here. This is called as a switch string example. So suppose using a string switch expression. What is the level? What is the level? Okay. What is the level? Suppose let us take the level is equal to 0. Okay, the level is equal to 0. Then what happens? There is nothing. No, this is default level is equal to break. Suppose if the level is equal to 1, you are giving the beginner. So let us take level string. Here you are giving a level string. So that means beginner, intermediate, expert. So if you are giving the level string beginner, then you will get the level 1. Then what happened? This is a break. That means no successive instruction should be executed. But in previous, what happens? First condition true, then all the conditions are true because there is no break. But in this program, you are using the condition checking, matching, execution, and break. So let us try this program. So let us, what I'm saying is the level string is equal to expert. So then expert is matching here. If the expert is matching here, then level 3. So, but there is no further instructions are executed. So let us take, I want to give the beginner. B-E-G-I-N-N-E-R. Okay, execute. Suppose what I'm giving, beginner. What is the level? 1. So I want to get only 1, but not all the values. That's the level 1. That is the level 1. Okay. Suppose if I am not giving anything, I'm not giving anything, then it is considered as a one string. So can you please find out what happens? Level 0. So that means beginner, other than beginner, intermediate and expert, what are the value, what are the string you are giving, then it will give the level 0. That is the default value. That is called as a default value. Clear? Right. Okay. So one more example. So this is the so there are two conditions. One is the branch and another one is the college year. So everything is related. Okay. So this is called case 1. So in the case 1, what happened? This is the case 2. So in the case 2, what happened? Case C, case E, case B. So this is the different conditions are there. So that means what is the first year? So in the first year, what are the subjects are there? So this is the just like the program. So please be listen one thing. If you are not using the break, then the successive programs also executed. If you are using the break, then only that particular program should be executed and quit from the program. This is called as a switch case condition. Switch 1. Then what is the case 1? So switch 1 is mapped with the case 1. After that, execution. After that, breaking. If you're not using the breaking, then what is the first program? You are all the successful programs should be executed. Okay. All right. Next. Next, I want to discuss about the break and continue. Okay. Break and continue. What is the break and what is the continue? So I want to give one example. Break. Okay. Suppose what is the meaning of the break? If you are using the break, then up to that condition, it can be executed. Up to that condition, it can be executed. After that condition, it is not executed. It is quitting. That is called as a break. But continue. Continue stands for what is your condition. So that's why before the condition, it is executed. Exactly at the condition, it is not executed. And after the condition, it should be executed. So this can be omitted. What is the required condition? Except that required condition, above the condition and below the condition, it should be executed. Above the condition and below the condition, it should be executed. So except the required condition satisfied, it is not executed. I can show you one program. So let us take, this is called as a break program. So let us take break statement used in previous switch case. So jump out from the switch case. So the break statement can also use it to jump out of the loop. Jump out of the loop. So let us take, I want to execute one program. So let us take, so this is called as a for loop. I is equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. What is my main program? My main program is that I want to execute all the numbers up to 10 value. But here you are giving one condition. What is that? If I is exactly equal to 4, then break. That means you can print up to the 4. Up to the 3. Okay, up to the 3. Why? Because you are giving the condition I exactly equal to 4, that is a break. So that means up to the 3 value should be printing out. Suppose first, what is the I value? 0. So condition fails. If the condition fails, then what happens? It should be executed. Then next one, updation. I is equal to 2, less than. Then what is the next condition? I exactly equal to 4. No. So then what happens? It can be executed. So next I is equal to 3, executed. So it can be print. I is equal to 4, exactly equal to 4. Then what happens? Break. No, that loop should be not executed. You can omit from the loop. So run the example. That's why I'm saying that. So this is called as a break. So that means if the condition true, then there is a break. So up to that break, it can be executed. So, but one time condition true, then it can be stopped. So let us take, I want to find out. Okay, here it is not executed. Okay, because there is a problem. Okay, so this is called as a break condition. Please be remembered that break stands for, any doubt? Somebody raise the hand. Any doubt? Okay, let us take. Okay, next one, let us take the continue value. So you should see the continue the different. So please read this, the continue statement break one iteration. Break one iteration. What is that iteration? At the condition true, that can be stopped. So the statement one iteration, if a specified condition occurs and and continues with the next iteration. So that means what I'm saying in the previous one. So before the condition it should be executed and continues after the condition. But the required condition is not, it can be breakout. So let us take here again, I want to take the one example. So I is equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. So in previous, you are using the, what is the condition? If I is equal to 4, then continue. If I is equal to 4, then continue. But in previous, you are using break. So that means what happened? So first condition, not satisfied. Okay, it can print. Second condition, print. Third condition, print. Fourth condition, print. But fifth condition, I is equal to 4, break. That means it is not executed. But here what happens is that, so 0, 1, 2, 3. But what is the required condition? I is equal to 4. That condition should be omitted. And what you are using? Continue. So that means from next onward, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 can be displayed. So please check. So can you please check? 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4 is not available. Why? Because you are giving the condition I is equal to 4 break. So that is a continue. That means in the continue process, once the required condition is satisfied, that should be omitted. And next continues the remaining one. So that's why you are giving that permission to continue further. Okay. So in the break only up to 3 you are getting. So before the condition it can be executed. But in the continue only that condition should be omitted and the remaining should be executed. This is called as a continue process. This is called as a continue process. Hello, any doubt? Hello? All right. Any doubt, Amma? All of you please mute your phones. Okay, all right. So can you run the example? So let us take integer I is equal to 0 while I less than 10. So system.print I plus plus if I is equal to 4. This is as usual in previous we are doing the for loop by using the for loop. Okay, nothing is there. So this is the continue program. So same situation, continue program. All right, I am giving exercise to you. I am giving exercise to you. So can you please tell me Stop the loop if I is equal to 5. How to execute this program? Please be respond.
Break statement.
Break or continue?
Break.
Okay, all right. I am using, I don't know what is the answer, but I am using it, I am following according to your requirement. Break. Okay, can I submit? Okay, submit the answer. Yes, you are exactly right. You are exactly right. Okay, good. So next is, we should go for another one. Okay. Suppose, okay, it is already predefined, so there is no modification should be takes place in the editorial column. Okay. All right. Next is the, so this is about the Java break and continue. So this is the switch case. Okay. So I repeat, while you are using the switch case condition, what is the main important funda? That is called, you can use the break. So if you are not using the break, then everything should be executed. If you are using the break, then what happened? Only this condition executed and emitted from this. Okay. So please be remembered and keep in mind. All right. Next, I want to discuss about the input and output. Input and output. So up to now, we are already predefined in the program. But the computer or the language can accept whatever you want to give. You should give, okay, one word. Okay, then that word or that number, it should be accepted. That word or that number should be accepted. Okay, so to accept that is called as a inputting to the system. Inputting to the system. Okay, I repeat, inputting to the system. Next, suppose once it is inputting, that data should be processed and it will give the result. So that result should be displayed. That is called outputting. Outputting by the system, that is called output. So to access the user data by the system, processing the data and give the output. So how? Okay, how to access the data given by the user and how the output should be displayed. Okay, what is the output and what are the different methods are there to give the output value? So for this, it is used as a input and output. Input and output. Okay. For this purpose, we are using the scanner. For the user scanner. Okay, so scanner class is used to get user input and it is found to the Java util. So if you want to use the scanner, then you can insert this package, java.util package. So this is a predefined class and the predefined class can be used. So within this you can use the, so that means if you want to accept your data, user data by the system, you can use input value. So for that input, you can use what is the program java.util package can be included at the top. Okay, all right. So what is that? So scanner class, create an object of the class and use any of the variable methods found in the scanner class and documentation. So now I think you will get some confusion. So after observing some program, you can be clear understand. So what I'm saying is that input. So input stands for to the system can access the data from the user. The system can accept the data from the user. So what are the different methods are there? So that's I want to discuss. Okay. So I will give one example, then you can understand easily. Yes. Okay, let us take. So this is called as a scanner, input scanner. Okay, so let us take, I will give an example. Suppose next line is our input. So that means I want to display. Okay, so this is the one function. So let us take, this is called my class. So before that, if you are using the input functions, okay, then you can use import java.util.scanner. So that means the system can accept the user data in the Java. The first thing is you can use import this class. Import. What is the class name? Scanner. Okay. What is the? This is called as a object. So util dot. So the class name is a util. So java.util.scanner. So why we are import that? To access the user data by the system, you can import to java.util.scanner. Okay. So let us take here. So first thing, suppose I want to print my name. I want to print my name. So then what happens? The system can ask, please enter your name. For this, okay, for this, I am using the system.in. So let us take, this is called the new scanner system. So let us say system, first I want to print this value. So system.out print enter username. Enter username. So that is while you are running the program, it can ask enter username, my name. Then I want to enter some data, Madhav Rao. So that should be accepted. So for this purpose, I can use this value string. What is the class name? This is called a username. So let us take username is equal to my object dot. This is the next line. Next line. What is the next line? So let us take, this is called as, I can use the system.in. System.in can create an object. Can create an object. So in that object, you are entering the data. You are entering the data. So that's why for the entering the data, what you are using? System.in. System.in. Okay, scanner system.in. So that means in stands for input. Scanner stands for what you are typing that can be scanned. So that is called as a system scanner value. What is the scanner? System value. So once you are entering the data, that should be taking the input. So this is called as an input. So next, it can give the enter the username, then it can give the next line. Okay. So once the next line is there, then you are writing the data that should be accepted. And this is called as a, so where you are storing, that is called as a username. So this is called username. So this username can be displayed. So I will give the example. I can run the one example. So that means what is the first thing? So this is enter username. Enter username. So now I am entering the Dr. Madhav Rao. Dr. Madhav Rao, CH. So now what is the next line? It can be read out what you are entering. You can read out what you are entering. So that's why it is read out. So then once it is read out, that read out value should be stored into the username. So that can be assigned. That can be assigned. So now what were at the ending system.out println username. What is the username? This is the username. So where is the username getting? The username can get the information from this. Okay, from this value. So that is what the user is entered the data that can be assigned to username. That username should be displayed here. Okay, then this is the username is Dr. Madhav. Okay, so that's why what I'm saying in the previous one, let us take the first one here. What is the process in the scanner value? To use the scanner class, create an object. So let's take, this is called as an object. So this is called object. Okay, I can explain one by one. So please listen. So an object and use any of the variable methods found in the scanner class. So what is the scanner class? This is called the scanner class system.in. Okay, so that means inputting the data. Okay, so here what happens? any of the variable method uses the scanner class of rotation. In our example, we are using next line. So here what happens, in the scanner class I am using the next line. So what is the next line function? It can read what you are giving. Okay, that should be assigned to the username. So what is the main funda? The first one, to use the scanner class. Okay, scanner class, which if you want to use the scanner class, then you can use the import java.util. You can import java.util, and in the scanner class you are using the next line. So what is the next line function? Next line function is you are inputting the data. That data could be scanned and it can be assigned to certain variable. So before that, you should create one object. What is that object? This is called as a new scanner object. So next, it can be default. So you can enter the name that can be accessed and it can be assigned to username. Then it can be output. Okay. So let us example one more time. So if I enter your name, so I said that Priyanka. Yes, Priyanka. Okay. So this is called as a how many methods are there? How many methods are there? Okay, how many methods are there that can be displayed? So I can show you. So what are the different methods are there? Yes. Okay, how many ways to enter the data? The first one, Boolean. Okay, this is called Boolean. So that means read the Boolean value. Read the Boolean value. Next one, next byte. Read the byte value. So what is the byte value you are entering? So that means, suppose if you want to enter the string, then you can use one more. Suppose if you are entering the data, then that can be byte value, double value, float value. So integer value, the next line. Okay, so next line. The next one is the long line. Next is the short line. These are all the different methods are there to access the data. So according to your given data, you can use that particular function, but don't give all the data. So let us take, I can show one example. Okay. So the first thing is you can create object. The first thing, if you are using the scanner, you should use first thing, import the java.util. What is that value? Scanner. First point. So in the first point, you should create one object. This is called object. So let us take, so this is my object, one object is created. Second thing, please note that system.out print enter name, age and salary. Suppose name is a character. To print the character, to print the string, you can use next line. What is the age? Age is an integer. So then for this integer, you can use another way. Salary is a, that is called as a floating point. So let us take, this is called as a, suppose first what is you are entering? Name, age and salary. So then you are entering the name. Okay, then age, then salary. So first thing, your name is, for the printing the name, you can use the next line. For printing the age, next integer. So that means to read what is the user giving the data, that should be with the help of this value. Next line, it can read the characters, that is the string. Next integer, it can read the integer value. Okay, and next double. Why? Because salary is the floating point. Here is the double, no problem. Your salary may be close, no problem. So then it can be accept the data. So that means single variable cannot be assigned. So there are different variables are there. Suppose for the string, you can use next line. For the integer, you can use the next integer. For the double, you can use the next double. So that means according to the user requirement, user giving the data, so user may, he can give any data. Suppose character, he can use the next is char. So that means user can give the any data. So according to the data, the system can be accepted accordingly. Whether you are giving the integer, then it can accept the integer value. Whether you are in the float, it can accept the float value. You are giving the string, next line is there. So that's why, according to the user requirement, the data should be scanned by the system. So what are the steps are there? Number one, you should import the scanner, first point. Second one, you should create one object. Within this object, it can accept the strings, it can accept the integer value, it can accept the double value, whatever it may be, different data types are you are entering. So single statement cannot accept all the value. Single statement cannot accept all the value. For each and every data type, there is a corresponding data instructions are there. So simply next line can be used with the string. Next integer is used to accept the integer value. Next double can accept the double value. So that's why what are the different methods are there? Please see this. So this is called as a next integer. Suppose if you are giving the float, the next float. Suppose if you are giving a double, next double. Okay, next byte. So that means these are all the different methods are there. Boolean, you are giving the true or false. So that means you are entering true. So that can be accepted as a Boolean. So next Boolean, next byte, next double, next float, next integer, next line, next long, next short. So why? Because we are all always predefined value should be given. So you are giving at the time of runtime, you are giving some values. That values may be string, character, Boolean, long, short, integer. According to the you are giving data, the corresponding data types are can be accepted. That is the input scanner types are accepted. So this is one idea. So let us take, I want to solve this program. So run the example. Suppose what do you say? Enter name, Madhav Rao, Dr. Madhav Rao, CH. Okay. Second, what is the next one? Age. So age is equal to 45. Next, salary. Okay, 30,000. Okay. So can you guess what is my output? Can you guess what's my output? Hello? Anybody can respond? Hello? What is my output? Hello? Hello? Please respond. Hello? So that's why name is equal to Dr. Madhav Rao, age is equal to 45, salary 30,000. So because different data types are using here, one is the string, for that next line, one is the integer, next integer, one is the double, so that's why next double. So by this way, you can input the data. Similarly, I want to close this session after 10 minutes. Okay, so this is some idea. Next is the output. Output. Suppose if you are giving the data, then you are using the system.out.println. So this is called output statement. This is called output statement. So let us take, this is called include the print stream class as a two formation method that you can use to replace the print and print. There are two methods in the Java. Normally in the C language, you can use the printf for display the required output. To display the required output, we are using the printf. So that is called output statement. So, but in the Java, there are two types. One is called as a format. One is called as a format. Another is called as a printf. You can use either printf or print. So both are having the same priority. So no error will be given. So let us take formatting output. So the formatting output having two types are there. One is called as you can use either format or you can use the printf. You can use the printf or print. So that means to display output. To display output. We are using the format, either you can use the format or printf. So I can show you an example. Okay. Yeah. So these are all the different methods are there. So let us take, so please see this. All right. So this is a basic example. Okay. Suppose you want to display the integer value. So in the C language, you can use percentage D. D for integer value. Suppose floating value, you can display F, floating. So double, you can represent double. Okay, D. And C stands for character. S stands for string. So that's why, let us take, you can use the system dot out format. What are the two different types to display the values? One is the format, or second one is the print. Suppose here giving the, he want to print the float variable is percentage F and the integer variable percentage D and the string percentage S. So that's why according to the data available, then the corresponding value should be displayed. Nana, why the attendance is very poor today? So many people are quitting. It's not good manner. Okay, so this is called, suppose let us take I is equal to 44,61012. So what is this value? What is the data type? Integer. What is the data type? Integer. So that's why here you can use the percentage D, because to print the integer value. Why they are using the percentage N? Because new line. New line. So if you're not using new line, then the data value should be displayed at the same line. Okay, suppose this is called as a, yeah, right? Next is the, okay, so what are the different types to display output? So that is called, you can use for the printing either format or either print or either printf. Okay, right. So to print certain values, D for decimal integer, F for float, N for new line. These are all the different methods are there. Okay, to display different, you can use the display value. Okay, so let us take, this is called as a, right. An example is there. Suppose D. What is the D value? This is an integer value 461012. So it can display. Suppose it is a 08. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what is the total length of the digit? 6. But I want to display as a 8. Then you can use 08D. So then 2 zeros are appended. Suppose let us take plus. Okay, plus stands for, it will give the positive value. Okay, let us take, this is called as a plus, I want to represent. So that is, this is one of way. Suppose this is the math pi. So F is the math. So that's why 0.3. So let us take, this is called 0.3F. That means after point, I want to get the 3 digits. Okay, this is a 10.3. So that means total length is equal to 10. By this way, you can display, you can output. According to your data, you should be output. Okay. So I can show you. Hello? Nana, your total present is 84. So that means absents are 12. Absents are 11. Okay, I can check how many people you are registered. Okay, let us take the next value. Next, I want to discuss about the Java date and time. So this is a very good important. So how the data format should be displayed. There are different types of data formats, sir. I can show you one time. Okay, one value. Let us take, I want to run. Suppose this is the actually my object, local date method. Suppose to display the time and the date, different methods are there. So let us take, this is called local date. So to display the date value, so that local date. So what is the today? 31st August 2020. So you can change this format also. You can change this format also. So let us take my object. So let us take, this is called as a import java.time local date. So for this purpose, there are three different. Now you can be import from the libraries. Okay, that classes can be imported. So then you can use, this is the main program, then local date, this is called local date now. Second thing, suppose if you want to display the local time, this is called the current time. So then you can use the local time dot now. So for this, you can use import java.time local time. So then it can be imported. So it can display. So now the time is equal to 9:56. Okay. And this is called seconds and this is the fraction. This is the precision. Suppose I want to display the date and time. I want to display the date and time. So this is called as a local date time now. So let us take what is the import? Local date time. So then here you are getting the local date and the time. So this is called as the date and this is called as the time. Okay. Right. Next, a change format. So last and final example, I want to change the format. So that's why first I want to display what is the local date and time. Second thing is that I want to change my format. So that is called date, time, format, timer of pattern like this. So I think what is the pattern you require, that can be displayed here. Okay, run example. So this is called before format, date, time. So but I want to change this value 31 August 2020 and 10. Okay, so it is not easy manner. So there is a already predefined classes are there. You can import and you can understand what is the data format, what is the date format required and what is the time format is required. Okay, all right. So now the time is 9:57. I want to stop this session. Okay, on a pitch.